And if you haven't watched it and think I'm exaggerating, Marcy literally says, through voiceover,
"So young, so young. Hey, number 21, if you got the place, I'll do the time."
Yikes.
Yeah. Welcome back to another episode of The Rank. I'm John, and today we're going to be ranking the next episode of Married with Children. Now, for those of you who are new to the show, I'm just going to give you an agenda real quick. We start off with the Pope Notables, which are just a couple interesting facts or tidbits that I found out about the episode or show. Then I go into the episode overview, which is me talking about everything that happened in the episode. Then I do the rank, where I rank the episode in 5 categories on a scale of 1 to 5, 1 being the worst, 5 being the best. And today we're going to be ranking the third episode of the third season of Married with Children, titled Polk High, written by Ralph Farquhar and directed by Jerry Cohen. Now, this series has been out for almost 40 years at this point. There's going to be spoilers ahead. If you really want to watch it, you can watch it on Hulu. Okay, before I dive into the Pope Notables, if you're enjoying the show, please subscribe, like it, all that jazz. But let's dive in here.
Pope Notables.
All right, so the Polk High football team is playing their rivals, a high school football team named the Aryans. Now, Aryans, if you didn't know, is a common word in white power terminology. Throughout the game, the last names of some of the Aryan players are visible on their jerseys. The Polk High game announcers can also be heard referring to several of the Aryan players by their last names. All of the names, visible or heard, are the names of senior officials or high-ranking military officers in the Nazi regime under Hitler during World War II.
That's messed up.
Also, the song heard throughout the game is the University of Wisconsin Badgers fight song. So those are the Pope Notables. Let's go to the episode overview. So we open the episode with Peggy actually making Al food. The way she's making it was really goofy though. She's cooking burgers in the toaster. Now, here's what I don't understand. Al is always complaining about her not making him food, and now she's making him food and he's giving it to the dog. And apparently she made a lot of food because there's a huge dish of burgers under the table for the dog, who also is not eating them. But all this marital bliss isn't going to be the plot of the episode, because Kelly's going to come in the door here and bring the plot with it. You see, Kelly has failed to seduce a boy. This has never happened to her, so she needs a mother's advice. That advice? Find out what he likes and get him alone. Well, instead of that, Kelly enlists Bud's help, between him constantly making jokes about her being a slut, by having him tutor Matt, the boy she likes, in English. All seems to be going as planned until Al walks in and engages young Matt here in a conversation about football. Matt thinks Al is Red Grange, who I had to look up. I guess he was a relatively famous footballer from the 20s and 30s. Anyway, Al finds out that his team's undefeated season and Al's personal touchdown record are about to go down, with Matt being 1 touchdown away from beating it, and the current team being 1 game away from a perfect season. Now, this is going to send Al into a spiral of midlife crisis. Also, his conversation with Matt ended up ruining Kelly's chances of hooking up, so now she's trying to find another way. Bud says he's a jock. He won't notice you unless you're a cheerleader. So what does Kelly do with 1 game left in the season? She gets Bud to put poison oak in one of the other cheerleaders' pom-poms and tries out for the spot. She ends up spelling her own high school wrong during the audition, which is how we get the name of this episode.
P-O-K-E. Okay.
So you'd think she hasn't much of a shot, but to her good luck, the cheerleading coach is a creep. She's like, "Yep, I like her," as she looked at Kelly lasciviously. So, wow. But back to Al's midlife crisis. He decides to go to the game in the hope that being there will cause his high school team to lose and for Matt to not score a touchdown, I guess? Either way, Peggy goes with him, as does Steve and Marcy. Why are Steve and Marcy there? Who knows? I guess they like high school football? Well, we find out that Marcy really likes high school football, because we hear her thoughts through voiceover, and my goodness, she keeps talking about the young boys in tight pants. It's creepy. So we've got a coach that wants to bang her students, and Marcy in the stands who wants to bang teenage boys. And if you haven't watched it and think I'm exaggerating, Marcy literally says, through voiceover,
"So young, so young. Hey, number 21, if you got the place, I'll do the time."
Yikes.
Yeah, but not to be out-creeped, Bud uses the extra poison oak he has to knock out the water boy. Why? So that he can spray the cheerleaders' shirts with water, and not even playing it off innocently, just directly at their breasts, just
That's not a good look.
It was wow. It was wow. There's almost too much to talk about, with Kelly doing anything she can to get Matt's attention on the sideline, to the fact that this was the goofiest football field set I've ever seen, to the fact that the opposing team at Al's James K. Polk Panthers was the Chester A. Arth Aryans. You know, the school that's described as being the rich white kids school? Yeah, this is the team that Al is rooting for to win as well. I mean, thankfully he never says, "Go Aryans." Boy, I hope that doesn't get clipped and taken out of context. Well, it works out for Al because the Aryans end up scoring and going ahead with 10 seconds left, but Matt is the kick returner. Unbelievably, it looks like Matt is going to return the kick for a touchdown and smash both of Al's records on one play. But what Matt didn't account for was Kelly. She is sick of him not taking any notice of her all game, and since he's running along her sideline, she dives out and tackles him to give him her number. Aryans win! Aryans win!
Excuse me?
So yeah, that's the whole crazy episode. Let's see how it ranks.
Oh, wait.
So the rank is where I rank the episode based on 5 categories: story, acting, dialogue, episode coherence, and character relatability. I'm ranking on a scale of 1 to 5, 1 being the worst, 5 being the best, all to find out what is the best sitcom of all time. Now for every episode, I have a laugh counter where I tally up the amount of times the episode made me laugh out loud. 1 point per laugh out loud gets added to the score. And before I dive into the rankings, I just want to say, if you're enjoying this episode, please leave a like down below, hitting that thumbs up button. It really does help us out, as annoying as it is to keep saying it in every video. All right, let's go to the first category, which is story. I gave story a 3. So the story is that Al doesn't want the records from his glory days to be beaten, basically a sort of midlife crisis plotline. Then the commingling story is that Kelly really wants a guy to notice her and pulls out all the stops. It's certainly not a great story, but it's fine. So let's go to acting, which I gave a 3.75. David Faustino is just not a good actor. Christina Applegate was great in this though. Ed and Katie were great as well. It was a really good episode actually, all around. So let's go to dialogue, which I give a 3.75. So this episode felt more funny than it actually was. I enjoyed it a lot though. However, I can't give it full marks because some of the dialogue, specifically Marcy's voiceovers, really made me uncomfortable. And not in like a holier than thou way, just like, oh geez, that's a lot. They really didn't shy away from pointing out a human being's baser instincts, it seems. I mean, they also had the cheerleading coach clearly want to bang her students, and then we have Bud spraying water on their breasts. I mean, it was a weird episode in this regard. So let's go to episode coherence, which I gave a 4.5. Kelly is an attention-starved girl trying to get the attention from boys at school. Al is a man who can't handle the idea that nobody will remember him, and Bud is a creep. Those all feel right. Peggy being a supportive wife to Al felt almost out of character, but it wasn't bad. I don't know, there's really nothing I can think of that makes this incoherent, but it doesn't feel like a totally coherent story, right? Okay, how about why is Al giving away the burgers that Peggy is making him? Isn't he always wanting her to make food for him? I guess there's an incongruity there, I suppose. All right, well, let's go to character relatability, which I gave a 3.5. Well, I guess if I had no impulse control at all as a young teenager, I could relate to Bud. Obviously, Al's feelings are relatable. Everyone is relatable, but the ogling young high school students portion of things felt a little too creepy. All right, so we got some sort of middling rankings here, but a decent laugh counter will keep it in the top 3 tiers, and it got 13, which is decent. So this puts the episode total at a 31.5, which makes it an I'd watch it again. For the series, the average is now at a 33.1, which keeps the series as an I'd watch it again. So thanks for listening and or watching. If you'd like to see a list of our episode and series rankings, you can do that on our website at theringpodcast.com. Remember to subscribe, review, and comment, and please consider supporting us on our Patreon site at patreon.com/theringpodcast, where you can get access to all of our archived episodes. Additionally, if you liked the episode, please leave a like down below. I don't know why the thumbs up matters so much, but it really does. So thanks in advance. But I will leave you with this. Why was this the last episode this writer wrote? Because the police searched his hard drive shortly after it aired.
Lock him up.
Go Aryans.
Go Aryans.
Aryans win! Aryans win!
Aryans win!
Boy, I hope that doesn't get clipped and taken out of context.
Ooh, that would be a shame.